Graphic details have emerged in the ongoing trial of Kyle Rittenhouse. Here's what you need to know. New drone footage and a medical examiner's explanation may have enhanced the case against Kyle Rittenhouse in his homicide trial, according to USA Today, with the drone footage suggesting that although Joseph Rosenbaum had chased Rittenhouse, he was not as close to him during the chase as previous footage indicated, and the medical examiner suggesting Rittenhouse shot Rosenbaum twice before firing a lethal shot into his back as he reached a horizontal position. CNN reports Rittenhouse also shot at 3 people who confronted him in the aftermath of that shooting on the night of August 25, 2020, during chaotic protests following the police shooting of Jacob Blake. He fired 2 shots at one unidentified person and killed Anthony Huber with another shot after Huber had hit him with a skateboard. And finally, he shot off most of Gaige Grosskreutz' right biceps after Grosskreutz had briefly raised his hands to surrender before moving toward Rittenhouse with his own gun pointed at him. The prosecution rested on Tuesday, November 9th, and the defense opened its case, arguing that Rittenhouse, now 18, fired only in self-defense. During the trial, one of the other armed men Rittenhouse had met up with on the night of the incidents claimed to have arranged to protect the Car Source car dealership where the first shooting took place from protesters. However, the owner of the dealership contradicted this claim, saying no such arrangement was in place. An anti-violence demonstration descended into chaos on Thursday night when 2 snipers killed at least 5 police officers. According to police, 2 snipers fired at officers from an elevated position in a downtown Dallas parking garage. At least 5 officers were killed and 6 others were injured. Witnesses said they saw a gunman wearing tactical gear exchange fire with police at street level. The suspect ambushed a man believed to be a police officer, killing him with several gunshots. Reports said one of the suspects was cornered by police in the parking garage and shot himself after a standoff. Police sent in a robot to verify whether the suspect was dead and to check his body for bombs. Police said 3 suspects were in custody, including a woman arrested close to the parking garage. 2 men were held after they were seen leaving the scene at high speed in a car. Police retrieved 2 camouflage bags from the vehicle. The protest in downtown Dallas was held in response to the fatal shooting of 2 black men by police officers in Minnesota and Louisiana. It is unknown if the Dallas shootings were related to those incidents or if they were an act of terrorism. A medical expert at the trial of ex-police officer Derek Chauvin has said that the activities of law enforcement officers resulted in George Floyd's death, according to the BBC. Chauvin is on trial for murder, having been filmed kneeling on Floyd's neck for 9 minutes last May. And forensic pathologist Dr. Lindsay Thomas's review of Floyd's autopsy, medical reports, and other materials on behalf of the prosecution concluded that he died because of a lack of oxygen. The Atlantic names 2 types of neck restraint used by U.S. police. The first is a carotid restraint, known as the stranglehold, sleeper hold, or blood choke. Here, applying pressure to the carotid arteries in the neck temporarily stops blood flow to the brain. As a result, the person becomes unconscious, but can still breathe. Police also use what is known as a chokehold. In this instance, pressure is applied to the windpipe in the middle of the neck so that the person can't breathe. This position prevents the lungs from being able to take in oxygen. The latter hold is not allowed by most large police departments, according to The Atlantic, but appears to correspond with Thomas's analysis of Floyd's death. The BBC reported her saying, "It's a death where both the heart and lungs stopped working," and she added that, "In this case, I believe the primary mechanism of death is asphyxia or low oxygen." Medical examiner Dr. Andrew Michael Baker, who performed the post-mortem examination of Floyd, agreed with Dr. Thomas's findings more generally, saying Floyd died as a result of his encounter with police, not because of drug use or heart disease.
On June 12th, a 29-year-old gunman became responsible for the worst single-day mass shooting in U.S. history. He used the same type of gun that has killed countless innocents in similar mass shooting tragedies. The AR-15 assault rifle is America's most popular rifle, with at least 9 million in circulation as of 2014. It was originally created by Armalite for the U.S. Army as a lightweight, high-velocity rifle, capable of penetrating a standard steel helmet at 500 meters. A redesigned version was adopted by the military in the 1960s as the M16. What we know as the AR-15 today is its civilian equivalent. The exterior of the guns looks similar, but internally they're different. The main difference is that the M16 is fully automatic. One pull of the trigger can fire 30 rounds in 2 seconds. AR-15 and similar style rifles are .22 caliber semi-automatic weapons. The trigger is pulled and released for every shot, and it takes 15 seconds to fire 30 rounds. Modern AR-15s are highly customizable. A rail system allows for various accessories to be placed on the gun. The gun has a bloody history, being used in at least 5 mass shootings since 2012. It was used in the Aurora, Colorado movie theater shooting, the Sandy Hook Massacre, the Santa Monica Community College rampage, the Umpqua Community College shooting, and the San Bernardino killings. Most recently, Omar Mateen used it during a shooting rampage at a gay nightclub in Orlando. Certain types of the rifle were banned between 1994 and 2004 under the federal assault weapons ban. The law has since expired and has yet to be reauthorized by Congress. The AR-15 and other guns like it are easy to buy, especially in states like Florida, which only require a filled-out form and an $8 background check. In Florida, a license is not required to purchase one. And while guns that require 2 hands to hold can be obtained immediately in the Sunshine State, there is a 3-day waiting period between purchase and delivery for handguns. Many have called for stricter gun laws and a ban on AR-15 and similar assault weapons. But gun advocates in the National Rifle Association continue to lobby against both.
The Supreme Court will not consider a challenge to an affluent Chicago suburb's ban on semi-automatic rifles that accept large-capacity magazines, the court announced Monday. The High Court declined to hear the challenge to Highland Park, Illinois' ban on so-called assault weapons and large-capacity magazines. The ban was upheld by the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Seventh Circuit. The city of Highland Park bans the sale or possession of semi-automatic guns that have folding, collapsing, or thumbhole stocks, muzzle compensators, pistol grips, or pistol grips with a stock attached. Critics of assault rifle bans argue that these features are cosmetic and do not enhance the lethality of the gun. The ban also forbids the use in semi-automatic guns, guns that fire 1 bullet per trigger pull, of magazines capable of holding more than 10 bullets. Critics say restricting magazine capacity is arbitrary because loading multiple small magazines is only nominally more difficult than using one high-capacity magazine. That is why the state of California mandates that semi-automatic rifles sold there have fixed magazines with a capacity of 10 rounds or less, which can only be removed using a special tool. Critics say the fixed magazine restriction is pointless as a determined criminal can convert a gun to accept interchangeable large-capacity magazines. Access to fully automatic guns as opposed to semi-automatic guns was not debated in the challenge to Highland Park's gun ban. The Federal Firearm Owners Protection Act of 1986 makes obtaining fully automatic weapons prohibitively expensive and cumbersome for the vast majority of Americans. By declining to hear the challenge, the Supreme Court has tacitly allowed Highland Park's ban to stay in place. A similar challenge to the gun ban in place in Cook County, Illinois, is pending in the Illinois Supreme Court.
For more news animations and explainers, hit the subscribe and bell button to join the TomoNews family. Thanks for watching.